up the Broncos. What have you seen from rookie quarterback next through 2 weeks?
I mean, he's fast. He can scramble out of the pocket. He can definitely throw the deep ball. He's quick. He knows his reads, and he knows the offense.
When it comes to rookie quarterbacks in this league, some of them have struggled initially. As a defensive mind in the NFL, do you think it's easier or harder to be a rookie quarterback and come into this position now, or how has that changed over the years from coaching?
And I don't really look at rookie quarterbacks. I look at the team in general, and it's about stopping the entire team. If you just look at one guy, you're going to get killed in this league. They all have a skill set, and a lot of them went in the first round. They're very good football players, but if you don't look at the team, you're going to get killed anyway.
Todd, you've gone up against Sean Payton before, obviously, with the Saints. Big difference between Drew Brees and Bo Nix, but how much has his offense remained the same, and or how much has he changed to kind of build his team around Denver's cast out there?
I think Sean's very good at building the team around what he has. He can coach a lot of different football a lot of different ways. He's a very bright guy, very sharp guy. So there's some minor Saint stuff, but most of it is different, and the players are different, the scheme is different, so we got to play what we see.
Is there any concern, Todd, or do you have to say anything to the guys avoiding looking ahead in the schedule? You're 2-0, Broncos are 0-2, you got some big games coming up?
This is the big game for us. We've only played 2 games. We can't look ahead for anything. We're not good enough. We got a lot of work to do.
Following Tom Brady wasn't going to be easy for any quarterback that tried to fill his shoes. But how has Baker done that and taken all that that pressure that comes along with this job of coming in here? And where do you think he's kind of helped his case in this situation?
Well, the biggest thing he did was not try to beat Tom, and the biggest thing we did is not want him to beat Tom. And the schemes have changed since Tom was here. The players have changed since Tom was here. Baker's his own guy. I keep saying nobody's ever going to beat Tom. You know, you put his shoes on the shelf and you buy a new pair and you break them in. And Baker's come in and he's picked up the system well. The guys have gravitated around him. He has a place he calls home. We trust him. He trusts us, and he's fitting very well here.
You had mentioned on a podcast this week that guys may have been stressed out a little bit with Tom because he was so business-oriented, and he kind of came in and was basically been himself and kind of loosened up this team. Did you see that at all?
I wouldn't know anything about that. I mean, Tom was 2 years ago. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He's the greatest player ever, and there's probably nothing else to talk about.
Todd, you've gone against Sean Payton a few times in your career. What makes preparing for his offense so challenging and difficult?
No, he's very intelligent. He uses a lot of different personnel groupings. He can run the ball a variety of ways. He has every pass concept known to man, and he's done it a long time. You know, he's very sharp that way. He's always been sharp that way, and he's a great football mind.
With the way Sarowski Dennis played up in Detroit, has he earned more snaps, maybe more starts?
Well, he got more snaps, but KJ's the starter. Savasi will come in, and we'll continue to use them as we use them because we need both of them.
To be down both your starting defensive tackles and be without an all-pro safety and still come away with a victory is huge. What's allowed your guys to step in, the guys that are in those supporting roles, the backup roles, that allowed them to be able to step in, especially along that defensive interior?
Well, we have guys that make this team for a reason. We don't look at it when them guys have to come in, who they're stepping in for. We look at how they can help us and what they do best. Not expecting Greg to be Vita or Izzy to be Winfield or anything like that. We're expecting them to do the things we know they can do to make plays.
Well, in the instance of Greg Gaines, then, what do you think he does really well? What
Greg can play across the board. He can play the 5, so he's a very good jack of all trades guy. We kind of had that when Nacho was here, so he has a lot of versatility. He's a sneaky pass rusher. He's very strong in the run game, so we feel like he's a chess piece we can move around up there.
What's impressed you the most about this 2-0 start? What's impressed you the most about this 2-0 start? Anything that kind of surprises you that's a little bit better or further along than you anticipated?
No, I mean, the biggest thing was the chemistry and the culture when we got back to training camp. Like I said before, it helped us go into a hostile environment and pull out a game like this. And it started back in the spring. It started in training camp. So we just got to keep building that while we clean up our mistakes.
We talked a lot about Zion and just the game he had and how he's developed. Tackling was an area he wasn't really great at early in his career. Is that just a matter of being in position, recognition? What is it that's helped him become a better tackler?
It's practice and realize what he's doing wrong. I think when he got here, he was lunging a lot. He's a willing tackler. He was just lunging a lot and leaving his feet and putting his head down, so he's missing some. Now he's gathered himself. He's calmer. He keeps his head up, and he wraps up, and he's playing well.
This team thrives on that underdog mentality that people are overlooking us. And we know we have in the building and block out the noise, but as the respect starts to come, how do you kind of keep that focus of, hey, and how do you keep that chip on your shoulder?
Well, we keep the main thing the main thing. We're not out to try to prove everybody wrong. We're out to try to prove ourselves right. We're hungry. We're trying to win. Like I said, we're trying to get to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl, and nothing else is short of that. The same people that's patting us on the back are the same people that was talking about us and expecting us to win none. So, and it's everybody's job. I get that. It's professional. I understand that. We write our own stories. If we play bad, we get talked about. If you play good, you get acknowledged. That kind of comes with the territory.
Is the best solution for that to just simply tune it all out, both the good noise, the bad noise?
Well, you have to, in your mind. Once you get out on the field, football is football. No matter whether you're playing 10 people or 100,000 people, football is football, so we don't worry about it.
What kind of challenges does Zach Allen present?
He's a monster, He's similar to Hutchinson. He's a workhorse. He's going to work you. He's going to outwork you. He's very good off the ball, and he's going to play to the whistle, so he's going to be dangerous.
Along the same lines of what I asked about with Greg Gaines, Mike Green and C.J. Brewer are other guys that have had to step in, forced into action because of those injuries. What are some of their unique strengths that you've seen?
Well, C.J. has been on our squad. He's into a versatility guy, being able to play the nose, the 3, and some 4. Mike played for us last year before he got hurt, so we're very confident in the things he can do. He's tough at the point of attack, and he's not going to let the ball outside him. He's going to be where he's supposed to be. So we understand what those guys can do.
You guys want to get bigger up front, accomplish that with Graham Barton. When you watch the tape back, how much has he surprised you even throughout the first 2 weeks and going through what you saw in training camp? And how much has he kind of helped move along where you wanted to build that void last year?
Well, we knew he was physical. The biggest surprise is how well he's handled everything as far as stunts, games, different looks. His intelligence and the way he can grasp things has been the most impressive.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.